Zinchenko plays it in, Saka climbs, and it's in! Very brave from Leandro Trossard.
The football weekend came to an end after an epic battle between Chelsea and Manchester City left the fans in shock going into the international break. Hello viewers and welcome to Sports Update on Eto TV. I'm your host for today, Esther Berewa, and with me is Mrs. Tosin Ojo, team manager of Kogi Confluence Queens. Thank you for being here with us today.
It's a pleasure.
We are going to be giving the latest sports highlights and sports updates. Kano Pillars defeat Enyimba 1-0, moving them to 8th on the table. Remo Stars trash Gombe United 4-0 with a break from Alimu. Lobe Stars win against Sporting Lagos, take them to top of the table. Palmer grabs points for Chelsea in 8-goal epic against Manchester City. Wolves 6 Spurs with thrilling late double. Arsenal beat Burnley to go third and tied with points with second place Liverpool. Villa moved to 5th after a win against Fulham. Salah secured Liverpool spot in second after scoring a brace against Brentford. Sheffield fights back for a draw at Brighton after Brighton were a man down. Manchester United secured a win against Luton after their loss against Copenhagen in the Champions League. Lobe Stars remained at the top of the table after a third successive win against Sporting Lagos at the Lafia Township Stadium. Chukwu's 29th minute strike proved to be the difference. The Pride of Benue tops with 17 points, while Sporting dropped to 9th. Now, what do you think? What chances do you think they have of winning the league, Lobe Stars? Like, what do you think from the way they've been playing so far? What chances do you think they have of going far?
Yeah, I think in 4 matches, 17 points is a perfect result for any team. They have won 3 matches, which is, I think more than 3 matches, of course, 17 points. It means that they have won up to 5 matches and maybe with two draw. So I think they have the chance if they continue to play with the way they are playing, getting more points on the road and, getting victories at home or even getting win away. So for me, I think Lobe Stars are a team to watch out for in the league this season.
Yeah, boss. We also have to talk about Remo Stars, who trashed Gombe United 4-0. What do you think? They're second on the table. So what do you think? Do you think they also stand a chance of winning the league, or we should all just leave it to?
Of course, they should have a chance. In the Nigerian league, for a team to score 4, you have to give credit to them. It's just to tell you that there's something about Nigeria league that people need to, start, following or start watching or start looking at, the magic that is happening now in the Nigerian league. When you talk about Remo Stars, they are one of the strong teams in the Nigerian Premier League in recent time. Just last season, they narrowly lost to Enyimba International FC. They are one of the teams that represented Nigeria at the continental level. Of course, I think Remo Stars are a team to watch out for.
Okay, talking about Enyimba, they lost the battle of the former champions against Kano Pillars. What do you think of the match?
That was a very good one for Kano Pillars FC. We are talking about a team that newly promoted from the Nigerian National League now to the Nigerian Premier League. I think for them to announce their arrival in the league, they need to beat one of the big teams, which they have done during the weekend, beating Enyimba International FC, the current champion of the league. I think in that match, Enyimba also have a goal disallowed, you understand? So it's a good win for the same Mesugida side, that's Kano Pillars FC.
Okay, now international, the match that everybody talked about, Chelsea versus Manchester City. The match ended 4-4, which was, the match should have been an easy win for Man City, considering how Chelsea had played. But surprisingly, Chelsea has not lost to any big team this season. Even though they're 10th on the table, they have not lost to any big team this season. So what exactly you think, where do you think there was a problem with the Manchester City side? And do you think there's a problem with the whole Chelsea squad? Because 2 games before this, they drew with Arsenal, and then after that, I'm an Arsenal fan. So after that, I said Chelsea has picked up form that they drew with Arsenal, and then they went to lose to Brentford 2-0, and now they're drawing with Man City. So where do you think the problem is, the inconsistency?
Yeah, I think Chelsea, one of the recent problems they have is that they are not consistent in terms of keeping their coaches. They always have their coach, hired and fired, and there's no consistency in the team. But I think you have to give it to the current coach because he's doing real well. For me, as far as I'm concerned, it's not easy for you to have a totally, a new team entirely. You have to talk about building the team before they will understand themselves, you understand, and start giving you results. But I think the Chelsea side against Manchester City, for the first time since I start, to support football or watch football, I'll give credit to the Chelsea FC. They really gave the fans a lot of things things to talk about. Against Manchester City, before the match, nobody gave them a chance. Having looking at their result against Brentford, you believe that Manchester City, the best team in the English Premier League, will just have an easy ride against Chelsea. But it was not like that. They never gave up. They kept fighting until they settled for a draw. So for me, I think I will give credit to the Chelsea side and the Manchester City side. If Manchester City has snatched away the 3 points, nobody will be surprised about that, because before the match, a lot of people will tip, of course, football fans will tip Manchester City ahead of the Chelsea side. Looking at the quality of players they have, looking at the quality of the coach they have, we are talking about a coach that did, magic while he was at Barcelona. When he was coming to Chelsea, critics were like, when he was coming to the English Premier League, I beg your pardon, critics were not giving him a chance. They were like, the Spanish league is more easier and not as competitive as the English Premier League. But I think recently when he came, he has been able to make Manchester City a big team to beat in the English Premier League. The likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal now struggle against the Manchester City side. So for me, I think it's a good result for the Chelsea FC.
Yeah, so let's go to Spurs, who were unbeaten until they lost against Chelsea, and now this is their second defeat in a row. They had 2 red cards in the match against Chelsea and had 2 injuries, and I feel this drastically changed the team. Do you think this is the beginning of Tottenham's downfall? Because I've said it from the beginning that Tottenham, the downfall will surely come. Yes, the downfall is going to surely come, but I didn't think it was going to come this early. And I feel the red card and injuries changed them a lot. Like, it really affected them.
Yeah, the match between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur, for me, I will want to accept the fact that the 2 red cards actually affected Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, in a game of football, it has to be 11 versus 11. So if you are down to 9, it means that your strength has been reduced, and that will give more strength to the opponent. I think Chelsea actually got their tactics right against Tottenham Hotspur, because if you look at that match, the Chelsea coach, you understand, is the former Tottenham Hotspur coach. So he knows the in and out of Tottenham Hotspur. He came with a good game plan and it worked for him.
But then they played Wolves and they lost the goal 2-1 even after scoring at the 3rd minute. Do you think that the injuries and the red cards still caused that loss for them? Because I think, for me though, I think they have other players who would have filled the shoes of the players that were injured and got red card. It had to make 4 changes to the team. So do you think that these injuries should bring them down, or do you think that there will be players that can help them to revive?
Of course, you can't win it all. You don't expect them to go 38, 40 matches unbeaten in the season.
Yes, but I didn't expect them to go 2 matches beaten in a row.
Of course, a team can go 5 matches beaten. Anybody can beat anybody.
I do feel this is the beginning of the downfall.
Okay,
though.
you are talking like an Arsenal fans right now, because of course, a London rival team. For me, I think Tottenham Hotspur, they're having it rough right now, but with the way they started, I think they will get back to the track.
Yes, and let's talk about Arsenal, who won Burnley 3-1 with goals from Zinchenko, Trossard, and Saliba.
So the way you're talking about Arsenal.
Yes.
You're an Arsenal fan.
Like, this was after the controversial goal. This was after our controversial loss against Newcastle. And I really want us to talk about that match, the Newcastle match. That goal, do you think the goal deserves to stand? Because there were 3 VAR checks and they still said the goal should stand. And it was really, really sad, because 1 point is like very, very important. 1 point can make you lose the league. And we lost 3 points just because the VAR could not do that job right. And this is the 2nd time this season. Yes, this is the 2nd time.
You are ready to sue the
yes. This is the 2nd time this season that this is happening. So do you think that the goal deserves to stand? Because there were 3 VAR checks and they said the goal should still stand. Well,
if there are VAR check and they insist that the goal should stand, I think the goal should stand, because I want to believe that experts are the one checking it. But I think there has been a lot of controversies involving VAR this season, and the fans are not really happy. I remember when I was talking with my brother, you understand, about some of the decisions by the VAR. And he told me something. He said, one of the worst things that has happened to football is VAR. Because there are a lot of decisions, you understand, taken by VAR that are debatable. Yes. You understand? So for me, I think a lot of people will tell you that that goal was not supposed to stand, while some will look at it from another angle and tell you that the VAR is right.
This same thing happened last season when Arsenal played Brentford, and it's after the match they will recheck it and see that yes, it was a mistake, it was not meant to be a goal, and the only thing they will do is render you an apology.
There are times that the VAR decision also favor Arsenal. You should not rule that out. So when it doesn't favor, no complaint.
It was really really horrible for it, and it. Like just like Tottenham's match versus Liverpool, when the VAR, they were just confused in that match because the VAR thought that the referee was doing for offside. They were just confused. I really think that the VAR should be checked, honestly.
Yeah, I think one of the major problems is the angle at which you look at it. You understand? Sometimes when they show you some angle, you understand the way they look at it is quite different from the way we look at it. And fans will normally attach our emotions to the football itself.
Exactly.
So that's the problem.
Okay, now to Manchester United, another inconsistent team, just like Chelsea. They won Luton Town 1-0 with a goal from Lindelof after losing to Copenhagen in the Champions League. What do you think? What do you think is wrong with Man U too? But surprisingly, they're 6th on the table, and they are actually last on the Champions League table.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Why?
I'm a die-hard Manchester United fan of Manchester. You see, one thing is this: in football, like I said earlier, you can't have it all. During the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United is the biggest team in the English Premier League. You understand? They were so consistent. They were winning week in, week out. You understand? But when Fergie left, Man United is yet to get it right. Yeah. They still have a problem. I don't know, maybe a lot of people will tell you that they've not gotten a coach to fill the gap left by Sir Alex Ferguson. But I want to believe, like we have in economics, there's always a lot of diminishing return. There are times that club will find it difficult. There are times that they will get it right. So for me, I think Man United is going through the difficult period. With time, we'll come back on track.
Surprisingly, they're 6th on the table, but they are. What do you think? Okay, not as a Man U fan, as a football fan, do you think you guys have the chance of qualifying for the next stage in the Champions League, or you are going to Europa League?
I think Manchester United will drop to Europa League if I'm to be objective.
Even the Europa League, because you people are last on the table. Copenhagen has.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are times that Manchester United have won the Champions League.
That match was the most shocking match. The match against Copenhagen.
But I think very soon the coach will be sacked.
You think they'll sack the coach?
Yeah, the way things are going, might be sacked.
Okay, then let's go to Aston Villa, who has been playing surprisingly well this season. Surprisingly well this season. They are 5th on the table, just a point behind Tottenham. I know they're going to pass Tottenham because Tottenham, that form is just going down now.
I think you have a problem with Tottenham because they are London rivals.
Tottenham and Man U.
Oh, Man U is also your rival in another area. What about Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea's worse.
Oh, wow.
What do you think of Villa? Emery, I really think that him coming to the club changed the club. He has been doing extremely well.
He's an experienced coach in the league. He was once a coach of Arsenal, so you should give it to him. This is somebody that has he has the experience about the league. He's age enough to talk to the players, and he's getting things right. So I think teams like Aston Villa, Newcastle United in the English Premier League, they have become problem to the big teams.
Yes, honestly.
So,
and let's finally talk about the promoted teams. That is Luton City, Burnley, and Sheffield United. They have been playing absolutely terribly this season. Do you think they're going to relegate back, or after the winter break they'll start playing well? Just like
it's too early to decide the team that might go back, to relegation, or the team that might get relegated. So the league is still long. They might still get things right.
Tottenham is facing Aston Villa after the Premier League returns. For this week, we have international break. So thank you very much, Ma, for being on the show today. It was very, very nice having you here, discussing with you. And we hope to see you again very, very soon.
Thank you very much.
Before we go, a reminder that there's international break this week. In Europe, the Euro qualifiers, and for the rest of the world, the World Cup qualifiers. Tune in next week for more sports updates. I remain your host, Esther Berewa.
Saka's corner. Ooh, flicked on, it's gone out of play. Gabriel was in there, encouraging from the set piece. And Looney takes a shot and he forces a save out of Raya, has to turn it away. He was able to run there. Tried to almost fed it through to Havertz. And then he shoots! Oh! It's a good save, isn't it, by Trafford?
A very good save at the near post. I think it's been tipped onto the bar as well.